A very good morning to all of you, my dear friends. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you're all welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Let's learn together.
So a very good morning to all of you, my students. Welcome back to the class. And today our topic is about the Khalji dynasty. That is from the Common Era 1290 to Common Era 1320. Common Era, CE stands for Common Era, and you can say it has been replaced. It has been CE, Common Era has replaced the word that previously we were using AD and Germany. So we have replaced it with the new name, that is Common Era. The historians have replaced it. So from 1290 to 1200 and 1290 to 1320, there was Khalji dynasty, and this was a very powerful dynasty of that time. Let me tell you, my dear students, that Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji, and we are going to learn about Alauddin Khalji also. So first of all, start with Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji. The first ruler of this dynasty was this person, Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji. Let me show his image also. This is the man, Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji. He was the first ruler of this dynasty, but there is a big but over here. He was not a strong leader. He adopted lenient, or you can say soft policies or relaxed policies towards the Mongols के against में इन्होंने बहुत अपना जो रवैया था ना, his policies were very relaxed and soft behavior. So Mongols were very daring during the time of Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji. They were very daring. उनकी बहुत हिम्मत बढ़ गई थी Mongols का, and they started attacking the country time and time again during this Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji. So I have a small video for you all, my dear students, regarding the Mongols. So because there might be a question in your minds, So he was not a strong leader, Jalaluddin Firoz Khalji, and he adopted very soft policies toward the Mongols. And as we know that Mongols were very dangerous. The leader, or you can say the founder, was the Genghis Khan. He was succeeded. Jalaluddin Firoz was succeeded by Alauddin Khalji, that next ruler, and he was quite ambitious. He was desirous. और इनके अंदर में बहुत क्या था, कुछ कर दिखाने का भावना इनके अंदर में रहता था. किसके अंदर में? Alauddin Khalji, that I will do this and that, है ना? He was very ambitious. बहुत जज्बात और जंगजू भी थे. He was very good also. He wanted to conquer the whole of India. Means उनके अंदर में कुछ करने का क्या था, ख्वाहिश था, इरादा रखते थे वो. He was very ambitious. He was desirous, and to achieve the whole of India, he quickly won over the nobles and soldiers by distributing gold from the treasury. So what he understood, that I will have to first of all convince the nobles which are present in my court. Nobles यानी कि ministers, यानी कि जो ministers उनके court में हैं, पहले उन्होंने सोचा कि let me first convince these people. So to convince them, not only the nobles but also the soldiers, he started distributing gold from the treasury. उन्होंने अपने खजाना से, है ना, ट्रेजरी से गोल्ड जो इन लोगों को बांटा, है ना. He distributed among the soldiers and the nobles so that they can become faithful. They would be very faithful to Alauddin Khalji. Alauddin Khalji का ये बहुत बड़ा आइडिया था उनके पास में कि हम अगर इनको गोल्ड देंगे, सोल्जर्स को, नोबल्स को, तो ये लोग हमारे साथ फेथफुली काम करेंगे. And that happened also, है ना. He imposed many restrictions on the nobles, यानी अपने nobles ministers के ऊपर उन्होंने बहुत सारा restriction भी लगा रखा था, such as that nobles were not allowed to meet and have festivities without his permission. उनके permission के बिना कोई भी nobles या ministers जो है कोई भी festival में वो they cannot participate in any of the festivals without the permission of the Alauddin Khalji, of his king. Even the spies of Alauddin Khalji were active everywhere. Spies मतलब आप समझते हैं ना, खबरी, जासूस. तो इनके Alauddin Khalji के बहुत सारे जासूस हमेशा इधर-उधर फैले हुए थे. They were very active everywhere, and they were informing all the matters to Alauddin Khalji that someone is going to act against you, so please be careful. So he was very good emperor. He was having spies everywhere, and you can see over here he wanted to expand his empire, and the first step अपने एम्पायर को आगे बढ़ाने का सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या था? His direction was towards the conquest of Gujarat and Malwa. He captured Gujarat and Malwa. He attacked and conquered that. He captured the fort of Ranthambore and Chittor also. You can see Ranthambore का fort और चित्तौड़ के fort को दोनों को उन्होंने क्या कर लिया था? कब्जा कर लिया था. This is the Ranthambore fort, and you can see this is the Chittor fort. You can see this is the Chittor fort. It was captured by Alauddin Khalji to establish control over Rajasthan. After the capture of Chittorgarh, Rani Padmini ने क्या था कि because she was the queen of Chittorgarh, she was the queen. So she decided that she will all burn herself along with all other women also in the fire. That is known as Johar also. Johar भी बोलते हैं. That is the burning of oneself in the fire to prevent yourself from the enemies. अपने आप को दुश्मन से बचाने के लिए उस टाइम की women क्या करती थी? जौहर करती थी. That is the self immolation, that is also known as, that's burning by themselves. Alauddin heard this, that women are going to do this, so he ordered the slaughter of his enemies. He started killing all his enemies. Amir Khusru, who was one of the poet of the court, he said that 30,000 Rajputs died on that single day. He was a brilliant general. He conquered many territories in quick successions, and it was led by Malik Kafur, that he was one of his general. And he was the first Swali Sultan whose army crossed the Vindhya mountains also. So Malik Kafur defeated the Yadavas of Devgiri and Kakatiyas of Warangal also. That is also in this class, my dear friends. We will meet again in our next class. That's all. Thank you, my dear students. Bye bye. Take care.
So a very warm welcome to all of you, my dear students. Very good morning to all of you once again. So what we have studied in our previous class, that Alauddin wanted to expand his empire because he was having the desire to conquer the whole India. है ना, उसको पूरे इंडिया में कब्जा करना था. That's why he wanted to expand his empire from one place to another. And the first step in conquering was Gujarat and Malwa. गुजरात और मालवा को उसने पहले ही conquest यानी कि capture कर लिया. He captured the fort of Ranthambore. Ranthambore का fort को कब्जा किया उन्होंने. He captured that, and even he captured the fort of Chittor also. That is चित्तौड़ भी बोलते हैं. Short में हम लोग चित्तौड़ भी बोल सकते हैं. So he captured that particular Chittor fort also. Let me show you images also that I showed also yesterday. लेकिन आज भी देख लेते हैं. This is the you can see this is the Ranthambore fort, है ना. और ये आपका देखेंगे चित्तौड़ फोर्ट. आपके बुक में भी फोटो है ये वाला. So he captured Ranthambore and Chittor fort to establish full control over Rajasthan. And you can see after the capture of Chittorgarh fort, when he captured that, so Rani Padmini was very feared. वो डर गई थी. So she with all other Rajput women also, they all committed जौहर. उन्होंने जौहर कर लिया अपने आप को, यानी आत्म बलिदान कर दिया उन्होंने. रानी पद्मिनी एंड ऑल राजपूत वुमेन, सबने क्या किया? आत्म बलिदान. दैट इज जौहर. लेट मी शो यू रानी पद्मिनी. इट इज द इमेज, एंड यू कैन सी द मीनिंग ऑफ जौहर आल्सो. यू कैन सी ओवर हियर. जौहर किसको बोलते हैं? दैट इज नोन एज सेल्फ इमोलेशन, मींस बर्निंग योरसेल्फ इन द फायर. Johar is the act of mass self-immolation by women in parts of the Indian subcontinent. To avoid, किस चीज से बचने के लिए वो लोग ऐसे कहती थी women लोग? To avoid capture, कि कोई उनके ऊपर में कब्जा ना कर ले, कोई इनको किडनैप ना करे, कोई इनको जो है स्लेव ना बना ले, गुलाम ना बना ले. To save themselves from capture, to save themselves from enslavement, and to save themselves from rape by foreign invaders, these women used to commit self-immolation. That is, they used to burn themselves, ताकि उनके इज्जत को कोई खतरा ना हो, उनको कोई गुलाम ना बना ले. वो अपने साथ साथ अपने बच्चों के साथ साथ, है ना, बच्चों को भी वो जो है साथ में लेकर जो है साथ में जल जाती थी. They used to burn themselves. That is known as self-immolation also. That is known as जौहर also. जौहर short form एक term है, उसको दिया गया है. But that is self-immolation. That is खुद से खुद ही को जला लेना, मार देना. So when the women of Chittorgarh fort, they heard that Chittorgarh has been captured by Alauddin Khalji, so in fear, डर के वजह से उन्होंने आपस में अपने खुद से ही जो है उन्होंने जौहर किया. Alauddin heard of this, and ordered a slaughter of his enemies. और अलाउद्दीन को जब ये पता चलता है कि that women are doing like that, so he ordered that okay, kill all those enemies, सारे दुश्मन लोगों को मार दिया जाए जो हमारे खिलाफ है. Amir Khusru, he was one of the poet of Alauddin Khilji. You can see over here is this Amir Khusru. So he is one of the poets who accompanied him on his expedition when Alauddin was capturing one place to another place. So Amir Khusru was with him, and he has written and recorded that around 30,000 Rajputs died on that single day. 30,000 राजपूत लोग जो है एक ही दिन जो है मारे गए थे, according to Amir Khusru. He was saying, Amir Khusru is also saying about Alauddin that Alauddin was a brilliant general, बहुत अच्छे general थे वो, and he conquered many territories. Conquered मतलब captured. He captured many territories in quick succession. बहुत जल्द ही उन्होंने बहुत सारे जगह पर कब्जा कर लिया था. He launched campaigns, means Alauddin Khilji launched campaigns in the Deccan led by Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur was one of his generals. So he has given the work of campaigning or capturing to this Mr. Malik Kafur in the Deccan. है ना, Deccan में उनको ये काम दे दिया गया था मलिक कफूर को कि आप जो है वहाँ पर conquest करें, capture करें, campaigning करें. And Alauddin was the only and the first Delhi Sultan whose army crossed the Vindhya mountains also. So Vindhya mountains को cross करने वाले इनका ही पहला आर्मी था. Delhi Sultan वे पहले ऐसे थे. He was the first one whose army has crossed Vindhya mountains also. Malik Kafur defeated Yadavas of Devagiri. यादव लोग होते हैं ना, तो यादव लोगों को उन्होंने हराया था मलिक कफूर of Devagiri. And the Kakatiyas of Warangal, और Warangal के Kakatiyas को भी उन्होंने डिफीट किया था, हराया था मलिक कफूर ने. Let us move ahead to the next slide. He then set forth in CE 1310, that is Common Era 1310, to attack the Hoysalas of Dwara Samudra and the Pandyas of Mabar. तो उसके बाद मलिक कफूर ने क्या किया, अटैक कहाँ पर किया है, होयसाइलस और पांड्यस ऑफ मबार, वहां पर अटैक किया. But what was one of the planning of Alauddin, or you can say a great tactics or the planning of Alauddin, that he did not bring all those captured territories under his control, direct control. वो ठीक है, वो जंग जीत जाते थे. Alauddin used to capture, but he does not rule directly. He was not having full control over that particular captured area. जो area पर वो capture करते थे, वो अपना ruling वहाँ पर नहीं करते थे. What he used to do, Alauddin, he made all these rulers accept him as their suzerain. वो वहाँ के रूलर्स को, जैसे कि गुजरात है, जैसे कि मालवा है, वहाँ के रूलर्स को वो क्या बोलते थे कि you should accept me as your king. आपको मुझे अपना king मानना पड़ेगा, है ना, and you will have to accept my suzerain. Suzerain तो क्या मतलब होता है? That is a dominant state controlling the foreign relations of vassal state, but allowing its sovereign authority in its internal affairs. इसका मतलब ये होता है suzerain का, that the internal matters of that particular area, यानी internally जो भी decision लेना होगा उस area के लिए, that decision will be taken by those rulers only who were ruling in that area before capturing also. यानी कैप्चर होने से पहले जो रूलर्स वहां पर रूल कर रहे थे, वो रूलर्स लोग ही वहां के डिसीजंस को फाइनल करेंगे, है ना. अलाउद्दीन will not take decisions, but Alauddin will be a dominant one controlling the foreign relations. यानी कि अलाउद्दीन जो है उनके एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स में दखल देंगे और डोमिनेंट रहेंगे. यानी कि जो बड़े फैसले होंगे, दूसरे स्टेट से कुछ खरीदना है, कुछ बेचना है, या कोई भी डिसीजन लेना है with other countries or other states, then Alauddin will be dominant there. Alauddin's decision will be final at that place. So that is the thing means by suzerain. सुजेरेन का मतलब है कि आप जो है आप रूल करते रहिए वहां पर, लेकिन आपको क्या करना होगा, you will have to pay huge amount as a gift to the अलाउद्दीन खिलजी. यानी अलाउद्दीन खिलजी को आपको क्या देना होगा, टैक्स देना होगा या गिफ्ट के तौर पर बहुत सारा अमाउंट ऑफ पैसा देना पड़ेगा आपको हर साल. एवरी ईयर यू विल हैव टू पे अ ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ मनी टू द अलाउद्दीन खिलजी बिकॉज यू हैव लॉस्ट द बैटल. आपने तो जंग हार गए थे, तो इसलिए आपको रूल करने के लिए दे रहे हैं, आपको राजा बनने दे रहे हैं. वो यू कैन बिकम द किंग, यू कैन बी द किंग, बट यू विल हैव टू पे ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ टैक्स. आपको बहुत भारी रकम, बड़ा रकम देना पड़ेगा अलाउद्दीन खिलजी को. सो दैट वाज द कंडीशन. ये एक कंडीशन था. आफ्टर अलाउद्दीन खिलजी's death in 1316 a war of succession broke out. यानी अब अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के डेथ होने के बाद इन द ईयर 1316 देयर वाज अ वॉर बिटवीन many of his sons that who will become the next king. है ना कि अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के बाद रूलर कौन बनेगा इंडिया का. इसके लिए बहुत सारे जो लड़ाई जो है वो शुरू होने हो गया है ना. इट स्टार्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ वॉर and the last Khalji ruler Khusru Malik was replaced by the Tughlaq sultans. So after Alauddin Khalji there were many kings, बहुत सारे king थे, rulers थे, but the last one was Khusru Malik and he was replaced, he was defeated by Tughlaq Sultan. और Tughlaq dynasty के सुल्तान से वो हार गए थे और उसके बाद जो ही Tughlaq dynasty start हो जाता है. That is the beginning of Tughlaq dynasty when Khusru Malik was defeated and replaced by the Tughlaq sultans. Let us continue to the economic measures of Alauddin Khilji. Means how he was maintaining the economy of his kingdom. है ना, वो पैसे वगैरह जो है, economic condition जो है वो कैसा था अलाउद्दीन खिलजी का. Let us see. Alauddin wanted to conquer Deccan as well as Rajasthan. है ना, he wanted. And you can see for this he needed a strong army. उसको क्या चाहिए था, एक बहुत बड़ा आर्मी चाहिए था, so that he can conquer, he can capture Deccan as well as Rajasthan at the same time. So to maintain the army he needed what, he needed a large revenue. बहुत सारा पैसा उनको चाहिए था ताकि वो maintain कर सके एक बड़े आर्मी को. So to increase the revenue collection he controlled the prices of all the commodities, food, grain, cattle, slaves. What he did, he wanted to get more and more collection of taxes. So that's why to convince the people, to make the people happy, he controlled the prices of the daily items, food, grains, cattle, and even he controlled the prices of the slaves also. तो उन्होंने प्राइस को कंट्रोल किया कि he fixed the prices of many food items, many commodities, cattle and slaves. He also made arrangement for the government to buy all excess non-perishable commodities. यानी जितने भी किसान लोग जो भी ग्रो करते थे अपने खेतों में, अपने फील्ड पे, so he made such arrangement that all those particular non-perishable commodities, यानी कि जो खराब नहीं होते वैसे चीजों को, वैसे खाने वाले सामान को वो खरीद लेते थे लोगों से, है ना. he used to buy all the excess, यानी जितना भी ज्यादा किसान लोगों ने ग्रो किया है, the farmer used to grow a lot. So after preserving their requirement, the food according to their requirement, they used to sell. So Alauddin Khalji made such arrangements so that all the excess यानी जो ज्यादा बचा हुआ है या ज्यादा है किसानों के पास और जो आइटम खराब नहीं होगा वो सारे आइटम्स को वो खरीद लेते थे. He made arrangement. A strict watch was kept on buying and selling of commodities. और बहुत कड़ी नजर रखते थे, यानी कि बहुत गार्डिंग के साथ, है ना, ताकि no one can do cheating. So to prevent cheating he was having a very strict watch on the buying and selling of those commodities. And if anyone found cheating was severely punished. और जो भी cheating करते पकड़ा जाता, he was punished, he or she was punished very hard. Yes. Under Alauddin Khalji, the state brought the assessment and collection of land revenue under its control. Alauddin Khalji made also arrangement that the collection of the taxes from the land, है ना, जो लैंड से, जमीन के वजह से जो लैंड रेवेन्यू आता था, गवर्नमेंट को इनकम जो आते थे, उसके लिए भी अलाउद्दीन ने क्या किया था, he made very स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड स्ट्रिक्ट असेसमेंट ऑल्सो, बहुत अच्छे से वो असेसमेंट करते थे, उसका मतलब जो है ख्याल रखना है, और कैलकुलेशंस है ना, कैलकुलेशंस, ही वाज हैविंग अ वेरी गुड कैलकुलेशन, ही अपॉइंटेड पीपल टू असेस and calculate the collection of the land revenue under his control. ये कलेक्शन ऑफ लैंड रेवेन्यू वाज अंडर हिज कंट्रोल ओनली, वो अपने हाथों से यानी कि अपने देख रेख में इस काम को करवाते थे कि कितना कलेक्शन जो है गवर्नमेंट को आ रहा है, कितना टैक्स आ रहा है लैंड से। द राइट्स, टैक्स का मतलब उस वक्त तो लगान के नाम से जाना जाता था, यू मस्ट हैव सीन अ मूवी नोन एज लगान आल्सो। सो द राइट्स ऑफ द लोकल chieftains to levy taxes were cancelled. Actually before Alauddin, what was going on, that local people of that particular area of the area was appointed to collect the taxes, and those local people, they used to cheat the government. So that's why Alauddin Khalji took this collection of land revenue or the taxes or the lagan under his control. वो अपने देख रेख में इसको काम करवाते थे कि टैक्स कितना आ रहा है और कितना आना चाहिए था, so that there should not be any cheating. And you can say they were forced to pay taxes. The local chieftains किसको बोलते हैं, उस इलाके के कुछ मशहूर लोग जो होते हैं, जो फेमस लोग होते हैं, है ना, यानी बॉस टाइप के लोग जो होते हैं, उनको chieftains बोलते हैं, लोकल chieftains, यानी लोकल चीफ, मुखिया बोलते हैं आप। So even he forced, Alauddin Khalji forced those mukhia or chieftains also, that they will also have to pay the taxes. This was the thing, that how Alauddin Khalji was maintaining all this. Now we have to learn about the type of taxes under Alauddin Khalji. So type of taxes under the Alauddin Khalji, that is our next topic. Type of taxes. Okay. There were three type of taxes during the time of Alauddin Khalji. Number one, that is on the cultivation called kharaj, which amounted to 50% of the peasants' produce. Means whatever the peasants or the farmers will produce in their field, suppose they have produced 1000 kg of wheat, then they will have to give up 50% of that 1000 kg of wheat. That is 500 kg of wheat should be given to the government as a tax known as kharaj. Kharaj कहते थे. That is, kharaj is the type of tax on cultivation. Is whatever you will produce, whatever you will produce, you will have to give your 50% to the government. Even there were taxes on cattle. And if you are having 100 cattle, means 100 sheep, 100 goat, 100 cow, 100 buffalo, whatever, any number of cattle you are having, you will have to give taxes according to the number of cattle you are having. And even you have to give the taxes on the houses also. Means if you are having houses, if you are having your own property, then you will have to pay tax also. Nowadays also in India also we are paying. Those person who are having their own house, they used to pay taxes to the government on yearly basis. So that is the taxes when we have to pay nowadays also, even on houses that we are having. The revenue reforms, revenue means that is the income, that is the income generation. So the revenue reforms made more money available to the king. तो किंग ने क्योंकि दोबारा ये सारे चेंजेस किया था, because he started collecting 50% on peasant produce, so it make more money for the king. king के पास और ज्यादा से ज्यादा टैक्सेस के शक्ल में पैसा आना शुरू हो गया. king was earning a lot, so he was maintaining a huge army. You can see 50% tax was there. With the help of the money, Alauddin was able to keep a permanent standing army. और ये पैसे से क्या करते थे Alauddin? He was able to maintain a strong army, huge army all the time. हमेशा उनके पास एक बहुत बड़ी army was available for him. He imported horses and even paid his soldiers in cash. और वो import कराते, यानी दूसरे country से भी he used to purchase horses from other countries. यानी other countries के horse अगर बहुत strong है, बहुत fast है, then he used to purchase those horses from other countries. He used to import them, and even he used to pay his soldiers in cash. और अपने soldiers को वो लोग cash में payment करते थे. A descriptive role was maintained for each soldier. यानी हर सोल्जर के लिए उनका जो है रवैया, उनके जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस और उनके जो एक्शंस है are different, were different for different soldiers. So that is the thing about Alauddin Khalji that we have discussed in this class. In our next class, we will discuss about the Tughlaq dynasty. That is tomorrow we will discuss. Hope that you have liked the video, and we will meet again in our next video release of the tutorial. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial. Please share it with your friends and others also. Thank you for the time being. Take care. Stay at home. Bye bye. Take care.